But if you're going to be successful in business, my opinion, you want to have as much foresight as possible, right? You want to think about all those things. And then as you're going through it, like you mentioned, it sounds like you and your team do, is you kind of review your procedures, you know, good or bad. Hey, well, why do we do this? You actually have the entire understanding as to why we rinse. We don't just rinse, there's a reason. And so that to me is valuable in any profession, the planning part of it. Would you agree?
100%. The only thing I would add is, and I think you're hitting on it a little bit, is you need to also be able to readjust your rudder.
Okay.
So if you're on track to go here and all of a sudden you get hit here, you're going to have to reset your course.
Right.
So you have to be able, and I think that's where you get into some unwanted outcomes, is something came up you weren't planning on. Well, you can't think of all scenarios, but you can start to think of some. What are the most common challenges you're going to see along the way? Like for us, if we're working on a tooth and the tooth breaks and we didn't expect it to break. Okay, now how can we readjust, reset our procedure, rediscuss the treatment now with the patient, make sure they understand risks and wanted outcomes and all that stuff, and then be able to deliver it and not say, oh boy, we're in trouble. And you may have a couple of patients that you plan on seeing, and now this 20-minute procedure is now an hour and a half.
Aha.
How do you handle that with minimum impact? And that takes a really great team to get on the same page.
Yes.
And I think some leadership too, like, okay, we got this, let's do this. Because you're going to have people like at this. And then also, how do you deal with change? Some people, change is like a 4-letter word. And for us, again, it's another one of our core values is, we have to be adaptable to change. It's
nice.
inevitable. It's to have change, you die, so we're not going to change for change's sake, right? But
correct.
Recognize those areas where, hey, we gotta readjust the rudder.
Yeah, thoughtful change, right? Thoughtful change makes a lot of sense.
It has to be some. Yeah, it has to be some meat to it. You can't just say, well, you know what, we're going to start using red lettering, or we're going to use a red pen.
Yeah,
we'll use the blue pen. No, blue pen's fine. You don't need to use red pen.
Yeah, don't.
But all of a sudden, I just want to change.
Don't go trashing the blue pens just to get the red pen. Stop it. Think about what you're doing. I have 50 pens. I know.
Yeah, like you don't change just to change. But if red pens are more recognizable or easier to write with, or they provide a more legible copy for the patient, okay, well then.
Now we'll consider it. That's it. Adaptability is really important, I think, too. You're right.